They sat together in the smoker's end of a Pullman car. They didn't know one another. They were strangers. They weren't talking to one another. Why talk anyway? A man always feels tough and only half alive in the morning on a Pullman car. No need to make conversation with the damn fool, so each thought. Outside, the February snow blew against the windows. One saw dim outlines of trees, mostly spruce. "Where are we?" said one of the men. He said it half by accident. He hadn't spoken for an hour. Just at the end of the bush country," the other man answered. "That's Washago Junction. I recognize it by that piece of bush." "You know this country?" said the first man. "Oh, yes. I come up here fishing all the time." "Is that so? Are there fish here?" "Trout." "Trout, eh?" said the second man, trying to get his face close to the pane so as to see the trout. "There are trout streams here?" He spoke almost reverently, as if in church. "Oh, yes, lots of them, all through here. There are some little lakes further in, but here it's mostly streams." "You fish with flies?" "Well, you can, all right, where it's a little open, but of course there's a lot of it where the bush is so thick that you can't get room to cast. I don't mind admitting it. When I can't get room to cast, I'll fish with bait every time, with worms." "I'll say so," said the other man. "And mind you, there's a whole lot more skill in fishing with worms than people think. You get a place where the stream takes a sharp turn, right under a big log in the water. Say, for instance, there was a log over there." He pointed at the other side of the parlor car. "Yes," said the listener. He could see the log, too. Being fishermen, it was very clearly right there for both of them. "Now, we'll say it's all thick brush." "Yes," assented the other man. In fact, he could feel the brush all around him. He couldn't have moved his arm if he tried. "Now, you see, you get your line on the bottom. There's apt to be a little bit of hard sand or gravel in a place like this, right in the middle of the channel, and you reach out your line." The speaker sat forward in his chair till he was, or thought he was, on his hands and knees. The other man bent his back a little. The brush wouldn't let him bend much, and they were both on their hands and knees. "And you get a good bait on your hook. The bigger the better. It travels easier and won't catch. And you just let it roll along with the water." There was tense excitement in the little room. Both men followed breathlessly the rolling line. "You'll never get snagged," the speaker continued, talking low, as trout are easily frightened. "If you let the line take its own way, it'll go into the deepest hole. And then, by George, you feel Mr. Trout take a snap at it, and out he comes." He landed the trout right on the floor of the Pullman car, a perfect beauty, with white-edged fins and bright vermilion spots on the deep, firm-fleshed sides. And with that, the two men went on to discuss telescope rods and whether the damn things really work, or whether one wouldn't rather have a bamboo rod in little sections. You can put it all in your bag. And incidentally, they told one another who they were, and the first man said he was in hardware, and the second man, it seemed, was in paper boxes. But they weren't really. They were both in trout.